Yo, what's up everyone, Gorex here. I'm back with another guide for the Cycle Frontiers closed beta 2 that is going on right now. Because maybe you've gotten frustrated about what should I be keeping, what should I be selling? Maybe you've even gotten frustrated because you sold something and then you went to the crafting station and all of a sudden you needed that item that you sold because you didn't know. Don't worry, I've got your back with this guide as I will be going into what you will be needing to keep in your stash, specifically when it comes to crafting backpacks and armor pieces. I won't be going into the items that you need to save for your quarters upgrades because that is going to be an entirely separate video that I can't make yet right now because I'm still gathering the info on what items are needed to go through all of the levels and all of the things that you need to do. Also, if you guys would like me to make a video about crafting attachments and the items that you need for that, let me know down in the comments below, but for the sake of not making this video too long, I won't be going into that in this one. If you enjoyed the video and you wanted to help us grow, hit that sub button down below and leave a like on the video. And also, let me know if you think that there are items missing in the list of important items for crafting. Let me know down below in the comments. For those of you who don't know me yet, hi, I'm Gorex, and let's dive straight into this video, shall we? So, before we can figure out which items we want to keep in our stash, we have to figure out which items we will be crafting. Early to mid-game, you'll still mainly be making green and sometimes blue items, so those are going to be the ones that this video will focus on. Personally, I don't craft any consumables because I feel like once you unlock the green stems from Osiris by doing the questline, combined with the meds that you naturally find in the map, you're pretty much settled. I don't think that the upgraded medkits are worth it because usually in a fight you won't be using a medkit because it takes too long, and even the upgraded ones are still a pretty long cast. I prefer using the stems, and I'll occasionally pick up a medkit just to heal up after a fight when everything's said and done. So that means that the main thing that you will be crafting will be backpacks and armor, so let's go over the items that we need to make those. For backpacks, it's going to be very straightforward. You will either need Polymetallic Prefabricate, Textiles, or Smart Mesh as a baseline cloth, and then Altered Nickel for both green and blue backpacks. The blue one requires an extra Pale Ivy Blossom, and the purple one requires Dust Blooms. The purple backpack also requires you to have some Titan ore available. Now let's take a look at where we can find all these things. The Polymetallic Prefabricate is probably the easiest, as you can find this all over the map. A couple of specific locations where you can farm this would be vaccine labs and regular labs, but again, you can find this pretty much everywhere. It's generally always worth picking this up because it's used in many crafts. Textiles might be a little bit harder to find, but they are still very common. I've been having great success with finding these, for example, in the swamp camp. Smart Mesh is probably the rarest and the hardest textile to find, as it is a rarer spawn and it's also only found in Korolev related areas and containers. Good spots to find this stuff is dig site, parking lot, and abandoned mine, and just check every crate and also look around on the floor because it can occasionally spawn as a ground item as well. Now let's take a deeper look at the required minerals. Altered Nickel is very easy to find, but it can be a bit RNG. Mine every nickel deposit that you can safely find, and hopefully it will spawn you some Altered Nickel, but again, this is RNG. The same thing pretty much goes for Titan ore, but while nickel can be found all over the map, Titan ore is a little bit more restricted. Luckily, I've made an entire money-making guide about farming Titan ore, so if you want to find out where to efficiently farm Titan ore and brittle Titan ore, check out the video that is showing up in the top right corner right now. The blue backpack will also require Pale Ivy Blossoms, which are commonly found in areas with, and this is a total shocker, ivy! You find this a lot in the jungle, but if you're not well geared enough to go adventuring there, you can also find ivy in the northern part of the dig site, water facility, or around labs. And then for the purple backpack, you would also need some Dust Blooms, but those are exclusive to the second map, which is called Crescent Falls. Now, unless you are rolling in resources, I would probably stick to blue backpacks because you will probably be using your Smart Mesh to craft your armor pieces instead of your backpacks. Speaking of which, let's take a look at which armor piece we should be crafting. While the idea of the restoration armor might be tempting at times, I don't believe it to be good. The passive regeneration it gives is most likely not going to save you in an intense gunfight, but having more stamina actually might. This is why I would only ever focus on crafting the tactical armor pieces, both the green and the blue ones. You can occasionally craft a regular armor piece, But then again, if you're already investing into crafting it, try to make sure that you're crafting the tactical one, because having that extra stamina is just a very nice bonus. I won't be going into detail about what every single piece of armor needs to be crafted, because you can perfectly see that in-game yourself, but I will list all of the items that you want to keep in your stash so that you will be able to craft them, and I will also tell you where you can find them. Let's start with the easy ones. For example, Hardened Metals. These can be found pretty much everywhere, but correlative locations seem to have them in higher density. Good spots for this are campus, lagoon, and parking lot. Spinal Bases and Rattler Skins are probably the easiest one, because you just need to kill Striders or Rattlers and you will get these items. A little bit more uncommon will be, for example, Scrap Metal. This is another item that seems to spawn more often in correlative areas and containers, but it feels at least like an uncommon spawn. You'll already be searching these areas because you'll be looking for smart mesh anyway, so you'll be finding these along the way. Waterweed Filaments, these are found wherever stagnant water can be found, so for example rock pools, but you can also find them on the outsides of labs on the northern part of the map. To get charged Spinal Bases, just kill Striders while the storm is active, because instead of dropping regular Spinal Bases they will drop charged, so it's time to stop hiding inside of buildings and go out to play. The two most uncommon items that we will be needing to craft our tactical items will be the interactive screens and the Zero Systems CPUs. I've mainly been finding both of these at Comms Tower, but I've also seen them at labs and vaccine labs. Keep your eyes open because they can be ground loot and they blend in really well into the environment, so keep your eyes peeled. They are definitely more rare, more uncommon drops. You will also be needing the Polymetallic Prefabricate, Pale Ivy Blossom, and Smart Mesh for the armor crafts, but we've already talked about those in the backpack section of this video, so I'm not going to repeat that information. Just go back in the video. I will be leaving timestamps down below. And there you have it. Those are all of the items that you'd rather keep in your stash rather than selling them to the vendor. I left a handy little link in the description down below so that you can copy paste it, print it out, and just stick it to your monitor or something like that. Hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like, sub to the channel, help us grow, turn on the notifications so that you know when the next video will be going live. But until then guys, happy hunting on Fortuna 3, and I will catch you later. Bye bye.